Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's coach learning session on collaboration and connection. My name is Paul Smith, Coaching Minds Director here, and we're here to talk about collaboration and connection over the next half an hour that we have together. We're going live again. It seemed to work last week. We had some good engagement, some good questions asked from the audience. So we're here to talk about how you can learn how to collaborate, how to connect and build your coaching network, how to collaborate efficiently, and also how to find the right people to work on projects, to work on talks, and how to make the right connections to help your business and the business of others grow so you can add value to our profession and to our industry. If you're here, let me know. Please say hi and ask any questions and any thoughts that you have as we go through today's session. What we're going to be looking at today is we're going to be exploring why we should collaborate. So a lot of coaches question why we should collaborate. They think and lean more towards competition than collaboration. Why should I work with people that I'm effectively competing with? We're going to talk about that and why we need to start to work together as an industry and as a profession. We're going to look at how to actually effectively collaborate, not just a case of getting on each other's podcasts or doing a talk and a webinar together, but how can we actually make a difference and add value to our audience, their audience, the people that we collaborate, and to the general public in terms of our collaboration. And we're going to look at a brand new feature that we've installed into our Coaching Minds Hub to help facilitate and drive collaboration, which we've labeled Connect and Explore. And what this will do is it will allow you to find people that are similar to you, that are working on similar projects, that are exploring similar things and might be a right fit for you to start to get together and run a project. So what we're going to do is encourage coaches to come into the Coaching Minds Hub and use this functionality to work on their collaborative projects. So you come back to the comments, see if anybody's tuned in. I've got a few people tuned in. It's wonderful to see you here. So Adele, thank you so much for being here. Coach Jane, wonderful to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. Mary, great to see you. And Facebook user, happy new month of February. Happy February, everybody. It is the 1st of February. January seemed to have disappeared like this. I don't know if you had a good January. I hope you have. If you haven't, then don't worry. It's just 1 month of the year. You can refresh, reset, and make February the month for you. So thank you, everybody, so much for being here. If you do have any questions, drop them in the comments box below. But I do have a question for everybody who's tuned in. Why does it appear that coaches want to do everything alone? Now, you can disagree with me. If you don't think coaches want to do everything by themselves, say that. Let me know your thoughts. But what we've observed here at Coaching Minds, we start to look at coaches, how they operate, their business practice. You see, let them collaborate. As I mentioned, they'll get on a webinar with each other. They'll feature each other on their podcast. They maybe discuss and have accountability group. But coaches tend to want to do everything alone. Why do we think that is? And if you're a coach and you're doing everything alone, let me know in the comments box. Why do you want to do everything alone? What's your thoughts? We hear all these words, the new buzzword around the industry, not just in coaching, but in consultant and everything is solopreneur. So there's not just it's not an entrepreneur anymore, it's a solopreneur, which again suggests that we want to do everything on our own. Sheila's here. Thank you so much for tuning in, Sheila. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So why do coaches want to do everything alone? Let me know in the comments box. And what we're going to look at here is why collaborate. So why don't coaches want to collaborate? Why do they want to do things alone? Here's 4 reasons. One is threat of others, or they see everybody else around them as a competitor. We talk about competition, competition's this, competition's that. We've got to be better than that, coach. We've got to drive more followers. We've got to build more this. We've got to make more revenue. We have to have 6 figures. We have to have 7 figures. And all we effectively do is just drive anxiety in each other throughout the industry by trying to show off and kind of build and see this threat of others through competition. So a lot of coaches don't want to collaborate because they are threatened by others, and they don't want to be giving away their secrets and their tips and sharing what kind of work for them because they don't want others to succeed, because they want to be the best. So instead of others, or they have that competitive edge where they want to compete with others. Now, competition's great. Competition is healthy in little doses, and it's good to compete with others to help you drive further and improve your success and what you're working in, and to push you to work harder as well. But too much competition it's not going to be great. It's not going to drive a good industry. If everybody's off doing their own things, competing about each other's, how are we coming together and delivering something of high value? When we tend to compete and we don't work together, we cut people off. We stop value from being added. We really kind of doing everything alone just doesn't work. And you'll learn that if you're a new coach and you think you can do everything alone. One of the two biggest things that you will realize as a coach when you get into coaching, the first one is coaches don't give advice. The biggest thing that everybody realize and struggle with is that as a coach, you don't give advice. And the second thing is you can't do everything alone. A lot of coaches think they can go in, be a coach because they're good at giving advice. They're good at giving people support, their friends, their family, everyone seems to come to them. And then it's a big shift in their mindset when they start to realize that actually coaches don't give advice. They guide people through questions and a lot of other skills that are important. But the second thing is that as a coach, you can't do everything alone. You have to look at ways to collaborate. You have to look at ways to partner. You have to look at organizations to work with in certain areas of your business. It's not just a case of running everything by yourself. So this concept of solopreneur, which we see, which is now actually in the English dictionary as a word, is that really great? You know, is it? It's trendy, it's catchy. I'm a solopreneur. We try and put this out there that we know so much about so many different things. You know, we changed the word from entrepreneur to solopreneur. But really, is it effective? So people think they're solopreneurs and they should do everything themselves. The other thing is ego and control, which kind of ties into competition, but they don't want to listen to other ideas. They don't want to work or be open to what other people have suggested and coming together. They want to have control of what they're doing. They want to let their ego run. They want to control everything within their business in the way that they want, which actually closes them and stops them from being able to grow. And the fourth thing is fear of feedback. Now, one of the things is my biggest pet hate of the coaching profession, of the self-help profession, is there is a lack of constructive feedback. There is so much positive toxicity out there where everybody's telling everybody they're doing such wonderful and fantastic work, even if what they're delivering is absolutely terrible. But we feel like we can't give that constructive feedback because everybody's doing their own thing. And I want you to tell me I'm doing a great job so I can tell you you're doing a great job. And we get into this place where there's a fear of actual constructive feedback to help us learn and grow. So I'm going to look at some comments here. So Coach Jane saying, I think coaches want to collaborate, but they do not know who they would approach. From experience, I've approached several people, but they want to sell something to me. And you've just hit the nail on the head. That is the other pet hate that I have. And this is why we're having this talk, this coach learning session today, and why I want to introduce you something called Explore and Connect with what we're doing here at Coaching Minds, is there is a lack of collaboration within the coaching industry, because what people are doing is they're trying to get one up on each other. And instead of collaborating, they want to sell what they know, their secrets, their tips to the other. So you're creating a place where coaches are coaching coaches, coaches are selling to coaches, and it's just a toxic loop. The profession is flat on its arse at the minute, and we really want to drive it here at Coaching Minds. You know, when I take a look at the profession, I look at what coaches are doing, I look at everybody copying trends, I observe the way in which people deliver what they're delivering. They're trying to sell things. So many scams out there. And I really don't like the industry. But we are in a position here at Coaching Minds to change that. We want to drive change through our coaches and influence people to do things the right way. Why can't you collaborate to add value than try and sell your service or your secrets to other people? So, Coach Jenna, I can recognize that. You know, and there's certain instances where it is right to sell your services. It is right to sell what you're working on, if it is going to add value to them, and it's not a case of let's get into a mutual partnership, but I have something that you need in your business right now. So there's certain instances, but when people try and sell you, you know, will you write a book? This is one scam you get in the industry. We're going to do a co-authored book. You're going to do all the work. I'm just going to make all the logistics and get everyone together. You're going to write a chapter in that book, and I'm going to take the money from what the book makes, but I'm also going to charge you for doing the work and writing the book in that chapter. Who's seen that before? Tell me some of these things that you've seen in the industry. This is not collaboration. This, again, is threat of others, it's competition, it's trying to take advantage of others who are struggling within the industry, it's preying on vulnerable people. So let me know if you've seen things like that, but that was just one example. Jane's also saying the lack of understanding what exactly collaboration is apart from doing podcasts and webinars, which we're going to talk about today. How else can we collaborate other than just, can you feature on my podcast and I'll feature on yours? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. How do we actually collaborate together, build projects where we can make a difference, and how we are working with the right people with aligned values? So Mary Stone saying fear of what other people think, that can hold us back as well. We don't want to work, but we need to step forward. We need to get feedback from others in terms of that collaboration so we can learn and grow. Donna, it's great to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. Mary's saying there are more than one way to do something. Not everyone is the same or works for everybody. Everyone brings something different to the table. Exactly. And we're in this industry right now. People, if they have something different to bring to the table, they want to put a price tag on it. Now, like I said, there's certain circumstances. If you've got a set of skills that you can offer a coach and you want to sell, and you're going to do that work, then that's fine. But to charge people for doing the work for you, to put blocks and barriers and coaching coaches, it's toxic, it doesn't work, and the industry is failing a little bit there. And that's what we're going to talk about in a second, the importance of collaboration. Donna's saying, I think many are afraid, don't want to collaborate due to selfish reasons. Yep, and that's a reason as well. So there's been afraid, which I've mentioned there, afraid of others and competition, and due to selfish reasons as well. They think they know it all. A lot of coaches suffer from what is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Have you heard of it? Put it in the comments box if you have. I've seen this many times. They'll take a 3-day course, or they'll read an ebook, or they'll read something, and then all of a sudden they're an expert on that thing that they've read. They become an expert. They know everything about that subject, and then they try and sell that to other people for thousands of dollars or whatever it is that they want to make. And that is so that if you haven't Googled that, the psychological term is Dunning-Kruger effect. You can have a look at it. I am actually going to do a session on the Dunning-Kruger effect. So effectively what we do is we think we know so much, we get a buzz, we go out there, we pretend we're experts, we pretend we're this, and we need to remember that whilst bullshit might get us to the top, it doesn't keep us there. So what happens is people start to realize that you don't know what you're talking about. They start to lose trust and credibility in what you're doing, and you start to flate. So you'll see a lot of coaches when they first set out, if they're good at pitching themselves across, they'll get an influx in the first month or two of their income and their effects and their growth, and then all of a sudden they'll dip. And that's because they are putting what is known as the Dunning-Kruger effect into practice. And Jane says, yes, coaches coaching coaches who are coaching coaches who are coaching coaches, and you have some kind of weird kind of pyramid going on within the industry. And that's because there's a lack of true collaboration to work together and make a difference. And one of the key things are 2 things for Coaching Minds this year: collaboration, working together, encouraging our coaches to come together. I don't want to see our coaches selling each other's services to each other at Coaching Minds. It's greedy, like somebody's put in the comments box, and it just doesn't work. So I want to pull our coaches together. And the second thing is, when you collaborate and you put things together, the second key thing for Coaching Minds this year is social responsibility, social impact. So how do we actually think more about others, the general society, people, clients who need coaching right now, and for some reason we're not getting there because of very blocks and because we're very focused on ourselves? How do we come together to make projects that are going to make a difference, using our coaching skills, using everything we know, that are going to make a difference on society? And that doesn't necessarily have to be free. You don't have to give social impact and take up social responsibility for free. I'm not just talking about pro bono work here. I'm talking about how you actually come together to impact something greater than yourselves. Because we're going to look at this as well, the wrong reasons to collaborate. So first one, wrong reason. If you want to collaborate, you want to work with others to extend your audience, again, you're on that ego trip. If you think, because I'm going to feature on this podcast, because I'm going to feature this webinar, it's going to be able to reach further people, potentially more sales, you're going in with the wrong intentions. And a lot of people collaborate for that reason. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't speak to other people, you shouldn't feature the audiences, and you're not going to get business from that. But you need to make a shift, and I'm going to talk about the right reasons to collaborate in a second. But if your intention is just to extend your audience, then it's not going to work. Second thing, to copy trends. If you are just collaborating because you've seen other people do this and other people do that, they're not you. You don't know the experience that they've got. What works for somebody else, as Mary put in earlier on, doesn't necessarily going to work for you. So don't jump into collaboration just because everybody else seems to be doing this. Look and understand what you are doing as a coach. What's your specialty? What's your niche? What do you have to offer? What is the value that you hold in being you that you can bring and start a trend, start a project, start something new in terms of that collaboration that attracts people who are aligned with your values? The third reason is for an ego boost. If you're just collaborating to get an ego boost, then that is also not going to work. Say goodbye. Collaboration is going to fail. And it's the ego boosts that are leading to people charging for this collaboration. As I mentioned with ebooks, you have people charging to speak on stages and stuff like that. Again, if you're a well-known speaker, you've built yourself up, you've got years of experience, and you're a benefit to have there, then charge for people to speak at events. And if that person's going to invest and put stuff out there, I've paid to speak at certain events before, if there's going to be value on the other end of that. But generally, why do we work together? If you're doing it for an ego boost, it's not going to work. And the third thing is for competition sabotage. Now, if you're a coach, you need to watch for these people who sabotage your coaching practice. What I mean by this will be people who pretend that they want to collaborate with you for some intentions, for some good reasons, for expanding the network or whatever. But really what they want to do is learn the ins and outs of your business, take what you're doing, learn more about you, and then put themselves ahead to put you down. That's competition sabotage. So you need to watch out for people who are pretending to collaborate with you, who are very curious of getting all the information and learning everything that you're doing, and then all of a sudden they disappear. I've had that before multiple times, and I've had to cut people out. So be mindful of competition sabotage. I've been on the receiving end of that before. You let people in, you be too open, you be too honest, you give too much value. People will take advantage of that. They'll take everything from you, and then they'll try and push you down. So Donna is saying, not necessarily, Jane, many will not attend free workshops to build legal and ethical businesses because they take shortcuts. Indeed, you'll see people take shortcuts. The other thing, and it's not about collaboration here, but a lot of people just want the quick and easiest route, and they feel like collaborating and people, advising them to do things a different way. They get really defensive with the feedback. They can't take feedback. I talked about fear of feedback a little bit earlier on, but also because they just want the quickest and easiest way to get up and running. People want to make money, and they want to make money fast, and that's not what the coaching profession, that's not what the coaching industry is about. But unfortunately, there's lots of people calling themselves coaches that's painting that picture of our profession right now. At the end of the day, the coaching is a service. It's a service to help and support other people. It's not a service to rob. It's not a profession to take advantage of others, which unfortunately we see happen all the time. And you have to put in the hard work. So the right reasons to collaborate. So to add value to another audience. So it's not about extending your audience, but it's if you see another coach and they are putting something together, they're putting a project together, they're putting a podcast together, they're putting a talk, and that coach doesn't have the value that you have to offer. It's recognizing the value that you have that might be missing from that other coaches, and how you can work together to add value to each other's audiences. So you want to think and focus on what value can I actually add? What can I give to this audience? Because a lot of times, if you're going to an audience and you aren't aligned with their values, and it's all about you, which a lot of coaches, when they go out there, is I did this, I've achieved this, I made this month, I did this, I did that, and I was doing this, I. Ego, it turns people off. Unless you're the likes of Tony Robbins and some big known, Gary Vaynerchuk, people who have made it and have the evidence and the hard work and the backing to do that. When you go I, you're going to be turning people off. People aren't going to be one attracted to you because people want to know what you can do for them. What are you doing? What value are you going to give to other people? So think about that. Think about flipping when you look at your content, when you're doing whatever you do, what is it that you're giving to other people? What's the value? How are you going to engage? I'm not sitting here telling you all the reasons how I've collaborated and how I've done this and I've achieved that and I've achieved that, because all of you would just tune out. I'm telling you and giving you value in the ways in which you can think about yourself, reflect on yourself as a coach, as a motivational speaker, as somebody who wants to step in and do business, so you can take away value and start to collaborate for the right reasons. So to increase standards, the other reason is to increase standards. To learn and develop is also on there. When you learn and develop and you start to grow from each other, you start to develop that experience, you increase the standards of both what you're offering and also what the other person or the other partners that are in that collaboration are also offering. And it also helps to lift others up. So collaboration should not be about competition sabotage where you push others down. Collaboration should be about lifting other people up, being able to share that service. I'm going to come back to the comments box. Adele saying to learn from each other and grow together. Exactly. So we never get anywhere in life alone. We don't. You know, if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. I think the quote's the other way around, but you get the gist of that. So how do you currently collaborate? So somebody mentioned podcasts and webinars a bit earlier on, but how do you as a coach currently collaborate? Because we're going to talk about how we can collaborate, how we can step outside just featuring on each other's podcasts so we can make a difference. Coach Jane says to put away our selfish reasons. Yep, definitely. Also to uphold standards and ethical practice. Yep. 100%, Donna. But use the word, we've got to be careful with the word ethics. Ethics are very important, but I think people shy away from that word. People are a bit, again, this is why they don't want to collaborate. If somebody's seen as being an ethical coach or the word ethics, people tend to shy away from that. So we shouldn't shy away from ethics. We should be looking, and this is what we're looking to do at Coaching Minds now. We really just want to work with professional coaches. We're not going to look to police anything or anything like that. We're going to look to inspire and create a different movement within the industry that is focused on collaboration and social responsibility and making a social impact. You know, the coaching profession should be seen in a high light. You know, not just annoying people that drop in your DMs or that trying to tell you that are better than you and all these negative. You can ask people, go and do a survey on your Facebook or wherever and ask people how they currently perceive the coaching profession. It's not got a great light. In businesses and organizations who work with professional coaches, it's got a good reputation. It has within organization businesses, in-house coaches, in organizations that are set up professionally and ethically, they have a good reputation. But just general on social media, people don't hold a good light. So let me know how you currently collaborate. Do you feature on each other's podcasts? Do you do authors together? You co-author anything? You do any projects? You have accountability groups? There's many ways in which we can collaborate. So it's not just about, like I said, featuring on each other's podcasts, doing a webinar together, doing a talk in my audience, I do a talk in your audience. It's about looking at how you can generally partner up with someone that is aligned with your values, with shared learning and experience. So you can say, this is what I've learned. This is what's not worked for me, but this is what has. What's worked for you? Okay, how can we put these two together, create a new project, something different that's not a trend, that's going to make an impact and add value to both of what we do as a coach, but also to the people that are receiving what it is that we're doing within this project. And it's great to see. I really have to hold up some of our coaches. Absolutely fantastic. We're trying to lead with this. We've got our Empowering Women Circle. So we want to pull coaches together and look at ways in which the end goal, the social impact, is to empower women, how they can pool what they've learned, their shared learning experience together to create something that's really going to help uplift women and empower women which is coming next March, which is being led by Adele Jacobs, who's tuned in, and a number of other coaches who are getting on board with that as well. We're also partnering up with other organizations to look at different phases in ways in which we can make a better social impact as an organization. So think about how you partner up. Think about something bigger, something wider, the impact that you want to make. Maybe you want to focus and niche on a certain type of client, and instead of seeing another coach as a competition, how can you actually come together to increase value and add something jointly together in terms of a project or coaching that's going to really make a difference? So think about joint projects as well. It doesn't just have to be a one-off webinar. How do you do things jointly? And I have to say I really love the work that Joyce Soloy and Jane, two of our coaches at Coaching Minds, they're just springing to mind right now because they work together a lot. They do joint projects. I've seen them do lives every week last year together, giving value and stepping forward. The other thing is accountability groups. Not just a partner, but accountability group. Sometimes with a partner, if it doesn't work, they don't show up, they cannot make it, at least you can still have those meetings if you've got a group. But again, it's about the right accountability groups for you with a joint or a similar goal and operation in mind. Accountability groups are a way of collaboration. It's not about, a lot of people when they think accountability, what can I get out of this? How can they hold me accountable? But it's also about you holding them accountable as well. It's got to be mutual benefit for an effective collaboration. And the last one, which seems to be missing a lot, is peer feedback. Now, peer feedback works really well, what we do at Coaching Minds in terms of our practical workshops, when we have our coaches giving feedback to each other on how they perform, the coach gives feedback. But we need to step outside of just that coaching into more things such as, can you give me feedback on my logo? Is my logo, the colors, the way that I've designed it, is it attractive to you? I'm doing this talk. This is what I'm thinking. This is my plan. This is my structure. How do you think this is going to land with my audience? I've done this talk. I've done this podcast. Can you have a listen? Just tell me what you think. But then when we receive that, to give open and honest, constructive feedback. Again, one thing we need to learn as coaches to do, give effective feedback. There's too much positivity, too much toxicity in the coaching industry that everybody's doing fantastic and amazing, and too much of it is not going to help you grow. It's actually going to do the adverse effect, and it's going to hold you back. Catch yourself. Who here has said something's absolutely fantastic, really great, wonderful, when they haven't liked it? Like when we go to a restaurant, we order some food, we sit there, we complain to our partner or family, whoever we're with, this is cold, this doesn't taste nice, this is horrible, really bad experience, we're not coming here again. Waitress comes across, how's everything with your food? Oh, it's lovely, thank you, really, really wonderful. And we lie. We have a fear, we don't want to be honest, we don't want to step forward. And this is the same thing we see in the coaching profession. People are just going on, giving nice positive talk. And yes, it's nice to boost people up, but it's also, hold on a minute, what you did here, you can improve this a little bit. I can see you do better than this. You can step up, you can improve. How do we start to give people that encouragement and that push with feedback? And this is collaboration. This is effective collaboration when we give honest and constructive feedback to help other people grow. But we need to be first, you want to lead in this, step forward. We encourage this in our shared learning space at Coaching Minds, although we don't see it. Share what you're working on. I have this idea, I have this plan. Has anybody tried this before? Asking if anybody else has tried. Have you tried this before? Has it worked for you? I've got this, I've designed this worksheet. Could somebody do this in here? Just tell me if it's good, if it makes sense, if it works. Collaboration again. Search, come together, build a group. And we have the power of that at Coaching Minds. And we'll show you how we're going to do this at Coaching Minds in a second. And some good stuff are coming through. So Donna saying very disappointing feedback on reputation of life coaches. It is very disappointing, but it's the reality. And we, I don't want to be one of those people that sit there and complain, our industry's this, our industry's that. Let's do something about this. Let's bring those people who really want to effectively collaborate, who are not egotistical, who want to work together so we can learn and we can grow. Mary's saying coaching should be about impact and helping others, not making a book. Making the book is the wrong reason to coach, 100%. And I get we all have to make a living, but the making a book, the dollars, the pounds is a byproduct of the value and the service that you give to others. And if you're focused too much on the money, the value and the service that you give is going to drop because you're just trying. And we live in this messed up mentality. Now, apologies if I'm coming across as negative here, but I'm sure other people have seen this and observed this as well. But we live in this mentality right now, and I think it's stemming from the West. Okay, so this is the West part of the world, where if something is expensive and really high value, it's £10,000, £12,000, then it must be better than everything else that's out there. Because it's that price, it has to be good. We live in that messed up mentality, and coaches jump on this, knowing that people think that, so they charge really high ticket for, one thing that really annoys me at the minute with Coaching Minds as well is we've got some of our coaches, they graduate, they certify, and if you're here and you're getting this constructive feedback that you've been coaching for a few months, they've certified for a couple of months, and then they think all of a sudden they're experts and they can charge thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for their service, and don't realize that you have to build that up, and that the key thing for you is the value that you have to offer and the service, and you've got to build that reputation up. And you might get lucky, someone might buy what you're selling, but the outcome and the knock-on effect of that after that month or two that you've had, which has been great, is going to get you. It's going to catch up with you because people are going to realize you're not that expert you think you are, and the feedback and the testimonials and everything that you're looking for is not going to come rolling in. Adele saying feedback on videos. Thank you for that. James saying, I think something I should also improve on is giving effective feedback. Too much positivity going on. There is, and it's not helping anybody. You know, it's nice to be nice and we want to be polite, and we don't have to do it publicly. So the one thing, I give people constructive feedback all the time, but I don't do it live. I will tell somebody, you know, wonderful job, fantastic, if I'm commenting on people on the live, but then behind closed doors, I will have a conversation with that coach and say, you know, you can do better than this. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? So when you give feedback, if you're giving constructive feedback, don't do it openly. Do it behind closed doors, one-to-one. Reach out to that person, tell them what you liked, and tell them how they can improve. And they might get defensive. Doesn't matter. You've done your job. And eventually they'll come around to it, they'll listen to you and take it on board. So as coaches, if we want to effectively collaborate, we need to learn to give good peer feedback, and we need to learn to seek it as well. And Donna said we did a great session, 3 Coaches 1 talking about feedback, and it's important to be mindful, honest, and forward focused. We did. It was absolutely fantastic. I remember we did that with Wendy Shaw. It was a great session. Mary saying you can say what you want, be polite about it, but don't sugarcoat it. It is what you say or how you say it. Exactly, Mary. Good to see you aligned. Thank you so much for sharing that. So lots of good stuff coming. We've got Data Grow Coach. Thank you so much for being here, Joyce Aloy. Vector feedback is what makes us better coaches. Exactly. It is. And sometimes, you know, we're not the best. Sometimes I've delivered feedback maybe a little bit harshly at times. Maybe what I've just said there about our coaches is a bit harsh. And it's not all of our coaches, just a handful. But it needs to be said. Sometimes we need to just step forward and say things. And think about how we say it as well, as Mary mentioned there. So what are we doing here at Coaching Minds? So first of all, the key lesson, be vigilant to who you collaborate with as well. Think about who you collaborate with. Is that person aligned with you? Do you really feel like you can add value together and bring something, or are you just doing it because you feel like you can extend to another audience that might have nothing to do with what you're doing, nothing aligned with your niche, no value for them and no value for you, and you're just wasting your time? So really think about who you want to collaborate with, who aligns with your values, and then work with those and set up those projects. But what we've got here at Coaching Minds, and this is open to all coaches because we really want to encourage, and this is free, so don't worry, this is completely free. This is for all coaches who want to collaborate, who want to do things the right way, professionally and ethically. We have started to facilitate what we've called Explore and Connect within our hub. And what we want to do here is connect professional coaches together to explore each other and start to do collaborative projects to make a difference through and make a social impact. So that's what we're looking to do here. So what does it look like? So you might see some familiar faces on here. So now in our hub, you can click on an Explore and Connect tab. And in here, you can start to see, as you can see on here, our coaches, business leaders. You can start to browse and see who is in our network. So we've got over 800 members in this network. You're looking here at the top 25 members. So the people who are using our hub more than others. And you can browse by who's near you, who's newest. You can look at hosts, ambassadors. So there's different ways in which you connect with people and what you're looking for. So you can click Explore and Connect. And then what you can actually do is you can hover over somebody's picture. I'll talk about that in a second. But you can say you're looking for business leaders within the network. You can go down to business leader. It'll show you which business leaders you can have. You can see we've got 7 business leaders here in Coaching Minds. I've got 25 members near me, so you can see who's near you as well. So if you want to do offline collaborative projects and you've connected with people through Coaching Minds, you can see who's near you to meet up in person and start to work together and network. But what you can do is you can then hover over somebody and it will show you a little bit of a bio, and then you can click and view their profile. So as you can see here, I've clicked on Adele's profile. Just from viewing those little people, I can see who she's connected with and working with within our hub. So I can see maybe if I'm interested in Adele, I might be interested in this lady here, this lady here, this lady here. I'm not going to share any names for personal data reasons. But essentially, you can see, because you can see this, it's all public in the Coaching Minds hub. So you can go in and you can start to check and explore Adele's network. And you can see her bio. So Adele's got here to be a difference, not only in my own life, but those of others through guidance support. So you can see their bio. You can see show similarities. And I'm going to show you this. It's the AI functionality that's built in. I'm going to show you how that works in a second. You can see activity. You can see what Adele's doing. You can see that she's posted 247 posts throughout her time. She's got 52 followers and she follows 161. So you can build up your following and your network in here. And if you want to follow Adele, you can. And if you want to chat, you can click the chat functionality and start up a conversation on something that you might see in her bio. Now, I haven't got, this is just a screenshot, but you can scroll down and see more about Adele, what she's interested in, what courses she's taken within our hub, what she's done, a bit more about her experience, all this sort of stuff. And you might think, you know what, she looks great. Show me the similarities. And if you click the show similarities button, it will give you a synopsis of what you have in common with Adele. So I did this just to test it out, and it says that your similarities with Adele. So you and Adele have a common goal of making a positive impact in the lives of others, while you focus on igniting opportunity through coaching. Adele aims to make a difference through guidance, support, and love. You both share a belief in the power of empathy, kindness, and compassion. You should connect about the importance of creating a supportive community where individuals can grow and thrive. Now, that sounds really amazing. Adele sounds like somebody I want to work with, and ironically, we work together. She's our program director. But on that note, that tells me that Adele looks like somebody that I want to do work with, I want to collaborate with, I want to connect with. So then I can click, I can send Adele a chat and say, look, love your bio. I've seen this, that we've got this, and this in common. Do you want to connect? Do you want to grab a coffee on Zoom? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And see what we can do together. So you can go back again, like it says, you can hover over everybody here. You can see them, see the bio. If they align to you, connect with them. The purpose of this is to allow you to explore coaches, explore members, and start to connect with people who are going to be more aligned to you by your similarities. And if it feels like a fit, you can then chat. It saves you time going through all the process and trying to read everyone's bios. You can click the similarities, and it's going to help you to encourage you to connect with the right people. So off the back of that, what's your actions for today? Join the hub. If you haven't joined the hub, if you're a coach and you want to connect and collaborate with other coaches that are in Coaching Minds, that are from other walks of the world as well, then join our hub. It's completely free. I'm going to give you the link and the QR code in a second. When you're in there, if you want this Explore and Connect to work in your favor, you have to complete your profile. It's very simple, very easy. I can talk you through that. Drop me a message and we can connect. But you want to make sure that you have a profile picture on there. You want to make sure that you have your sections of your bio filled out. It's just easy, like setting up any account. And then you want to look at where you are. If you want to turn on your location tab to connect with people who are locally as well. But essentially, once you've completed that out, you can put your links. So you can put your LinkedIn link in there, your website link in, so people can browse and connect with you. Your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, whatever it is, you can put all your links in there for people to view you on that profile. But if you want to get the most of our Explore and Connect with people that are right for you, then you need to make sure that your profile is complete and up to date, because that's the work that's pulling together in the background through AI and through our hub to connect you with those that we believe is best for you to collaborate with. Next, you can take on our weekly connection challenge. So we're going to be doing a challenge. It's going to be something simple. The first challenge is going to be released next Monday, and it's going to be to connect and follow 5 people within our network that seems to be similar or aligned with yourself. So it's just going to be a simple 5-minute challenge every week, just to encourage our coaches to start to connect, start to collaborate, because we want to see projects come out of this. We want to see our coaches making a social impact, growing together, so we can make the world a better place, so we can ignite opportunities by changing the world through coaching. And then once you've taken these challenges, you've completed your profile, you've had a browse, collaborate with coaches that are aligned with you, and then start to deliver. This is what we want our hub to be. We want to see the collaboration with our coaches. We want to see our coaches grow. So on that, does anybody have any questions with what we're talking about, what we're sharing here? And there's more stuff coming. So keep an eye out for what's coming in terms of helping support, facilitate collaboration in ways in which we can look to connect coach and client as well. So potential clients who come into this hub, into this space, can also see what you have to offer. They can share what they're looking for, and you can connect. Any questions on any of this? If not, if you're not in here, then you want to get yourself in here. Like I said, it's completely free. It's hub.coachingminds.co.uk. If you're watching this on your desktop, you can use the QR code to scan on your phone and get your profile set up, get connecting. There's other stuff in there. There's free courses. You can catch up on all the coach sessions that you've missed over the past month. We had 4 throughout January, so you can check those out. And you can ask us questions. You can connect. You can collaborate, and you can learn. So you can get the best out of your practice, out of your learning, of your growth. You know, we're putting into practice what we preach here at Coaching Minds. We don't want to sell you loads of stuff. Yes, there's certain things that you have to pay if you want to become a certified and accredited coach. Obviously, there's a lot of work and stuff that goes behind that. But where we can facilitate collaboration, where we can facilitate growth, where we can offer opportunity for you to grow together without having to sell your services to one another, we're here, we're doing that, and we're offering that for free. So there's no catch to that. You can jump in, explore, and get connecting with other people, other members, other coaches. So learn, connect, and grow. So Silence in the comments box. Very quiet at the moment. Has any of our coaches explored this feature? Have they had a look? Have they tried to connect with somebody? Viewed people's networks? Let me know if you've checked this out. If not, go check it out. Click similarities with people that you feel like you've got similarities with. So, for example, I talked about Jane and Joyce later, how they really work together. Go and click that shows similarity on each other and see what AI pulls together to see if it sees there's alignment there. But remember, that won't work if you don't have your profile set up. You need to have what's important to you on your profile, and you need to have everything built so it can work and really connect you with each other. Data coaching, this was insightful. Yep, if there's one key thing to take away, be careful who you collaborate with. Make sure you collaborate with the right people. We're going to do our best to support that. And also make sure that it's not focused on you, it's focused on the value that you're going to give to other people. Make sure that both partners, or if it's a group of people, are aligned with that and they're focused on the value and not themselves, because that's going to cause a little bit of friction. And be honest with your feedback. Give constructive feedback behind closed doors. Ask for feedback openly as well, and grow. The only way we can do it is grow and learn together without trying to scam each other for money. So we're going to be putting these coach sessions on every week to help our coaches. Next week, we're going to be exploring imposter syndrome. We're going to go detail into what that is and some of the things that it's not as well. A lot of people relate imposter syndrome to things like lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence. That's not imposter syndrome. Certain elements of that tie into it. We're going to go deep into that and how you can use that effectively with clients to help them get past imposter syndrome. So that's what we're going to be looking at next week. Mary's saying, I was off social media for 2.5 years. Definitely need to connect again. Now get on. It doesn't have to be through social media. We know we get distractions. We are going to be setting up a Facebook group through Coaching Minds, a public one for collaboration. So that's coming as well. But we want to encourage people to get off social media and for collaboration projects so they can stay focused and they can get the right energy and come into our hub. Mary saying, thank you so much for sharing. Now, Mary, thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. It's good to see you back on social media again. Good to see you connecting and jumping in on our lives. Really, really appreciate it. And a huge thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Fantastic stuff. Some great thinking, and everyone who's tuned in is absolutely wonderful. And that's not me being positively toxic, neither. Really wonderful people. Really happy with how the coaches on here, how they collaborate and how they're pulling together and everything they're doing. So great work, guys. Keep it up. Keep collaborating and encourage others and inspire others to do the same, because we need to come together to make a change on the perspective of this industry and start to do things the right way to have a good, positive social impact. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, guys, and we'll speak soon. Thank you.